to episode 49 of the BTF podcast. That is the Back to Football podcast, the number one podcast for people who probably should talk about something other than football. We're coming at you live on YouTube, and today I am joined by my co-hosts, John and Greg. John, first of all, how are you? You're looking well. You had a good week?
Yeah, cheers. Thanks for the compliment. Yeah. Good week. Can't complain. Lots of football. Weather hasn't been too good, so I haven't been in the garden as much. I did try to have a barbecue on Wednesday, and that got rained out. So obviously, with the government saying, you can do X, Y, and Z, my mum came down and my sister came down. We're in the garden. Sun was shining. The skewers were grilling, and then man, the heavens opened up. So yeah, that was quite fun. But apart from that, I think we've got good weather next week, so that will bring the mood up a bit. But yeah, Greg, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, good week. It's the rain again, unfortunately, that ruined it. Me and my mate, we go for beers and biking along the coast. And last night, that wind and the rain definitely put a dampener on the mood. But apart from that, good week. As you say, lots to talk about in terms of football, that's for sure. Dan, what about you? How's your week? How are Fulham getting on from last week?
We've not had a great restart to the season. We lost the first two games, which was Brentford and Leeds, and then we did get a late win this week against QPR. Cyrus Christie actually scored a bit of a banger actually late in the game at Loftus Road, or it's called something else now. It's like the King Someone Foundation Stadium, but yeah, still Loftus Road, and still probably one of the worst stadiums I've ever been to in my life. But yeah, we're doing okay. I mean, we need probably about 3 more wins, probably nine more points to kind of solidify playoffs. It's looking like Leeds and West Brom have kind of just gone off into the sunset a bit now in those 2 top spots. I think Brentford are the only team really with any hopes of catching them. But yeah, it's going okay. We're playing today. We've got Birmingham at 3 p.m. Pretty much, every game's a must-win game at this point. I do fear for them though. If it's a very pessimistic attitude as a fan, but if they do go up, they certainly don't have the weapons at the moment and the ingrained club philosophy that maybe a team like Sheffield United came up with to survive in the Prem. I do feel like we would, at this point, still just yo-yo back down. Plus, Craven Cottage obviously is having its makeover with the Riverside stand being rebuilt and being expanded, and that's not due to open until the season after next. So, worst case scenario that we don't make it up this year, at least we'd have another crack at it next year, hopefully build a bit more of a foundation to last in the Premier League, and then enter the Premier League with this brand new stadium, which is potentially something that Brentford might end up doing this year. Obviously, they're moving to their new stadium over in Chiswick. And yeah, they could be Premier League, new boys with a new stadium in hand as well. So Championship's a hard league, very hard league. So, it is what it is, so to speak. But yeah, we've got a great show coming up today. We got 2 things that we're going to do before we go back to football. And I think I'm going to introduce the first one. Has anyone ever played GeoGuessr?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I think we should do a GeoGuessr thing. You only get 1 free go a day.
Yeah, ridiculous, isn't it? They want you to pay for it now, as if.
Yeah.
It used to be basically my high school lunch breaks would just be sat on GeoGuessr.
Nice. So you should be good then. John, have you ever played it?
No, I haven't.
Greg, can you give John a rundown of what it is and how it works, basically?
So essentially, you go on GeoGuessr and you start game, and you are you're basically on Street View on Google Maps on a random location in the world, and you can only move. You can move about and check out in the area, but the goal is to try and guess on the globe map where you are. You're limited. You can only sort of go around the corner, check out the next block, see some street signs, see what people are wearing, but you have to try and guess where you are in the world, and you get more points the closer you got. And I've got within like a kilometer before.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's good fun. You have to sort of look at road signs, try and look at languages, try and look at what people are wearing, see if it's hot, cold, what side of the road they're living, what side of the road they're driving on is often quite a big clue. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, it sounds good. It's a shame they're only giving you one go a day now. Sounds like something that it could be quite addictive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I remember playing once with my mates in school, and I was playing with a mate who I won't name him, but he's not the sharpest tool in the shed. We were playing, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know where we are. I think like got to be like Kazakhstan or something, Turkey or something." It was Wales, so he was quite far off. He got thrown off by the language, I think.
Oh, what Welsh signs on the thing? Yeah. All right. Well, I will share my screen in a moment. I'm just gonna post our show to Facebook for anyone that wants to watch on there. So right, here we go. GeoGuessr. So let's make that full screen, and here we go. All right, share screen. So can everyone see what we're looking at here? Yep. Right. So should we go for the world one, Greg?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Play. There we go. So you're about to play. Single player. Little do they know. Start game.
If you're watching on YouTube and you have any hints, let us know.
Yes, please do. Yeah, Greg, have you got the YouTube? Have you got the YouTube thing up so that you can?
Yeah, definitely. I've got it up.
Check those comments.
That looks Russian to me, but Russia.
It does. Yeah, I'm thinking Russia or Ukraine immediately. Petrol from NTK, but obviously that letter. This is Russian lettering.
That narrows it down. Russia, biggest country.
Yeah, I mean, it could be Belarus, could be Russia, could be Ukraine. Does Russia have street maps for start?
Yeah, it would do, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
most parts.
I
don't know. We can't even move around a lot, and there's nothing to see really. I mean, that down there might be helpful.
Cost of gas might be a good idea, although obviously the currency we don't know.
I don't know. What's the currency? Can we see any currencies anywhere?
Oh yeah.
How much are we allowed to move? There we go.
You can. So you see the two little white arrows. You can move like backward and forward.
Okay. Right.
Anyone in the live chat have any idea?
Petroleum. All right. I think we're gonna have to go with Russia on this one, and maybe just. But
Russia, that's very flat for Russia, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's a huge country.
Yeah, very true.
Flat
part of Russia.
Oh wait.
Oh.
This thing.
What side? Yeah.
I mean, one thing I would say is blue, obviously, is one of the two major colors in the Ukrainian flag. It's yellow and blue.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But obviously, I think the Russian flag also has blue in it. Am I right?
I thought it was red. Right. Oh, yeah, it's got blue in it. Red, white, and blue. Yeah.
Okay, I say we go for Russia, somewhere around Rostov. We'll go for.
Flat.
If I can find Rostov. Tomsk. Or should we go with
Rubin Kazan?
Kazan, yeah, I was thinking Kazan. All right, let's go with Kazan then. Somewhere in this region. Oh
We are far away.
no, we're not. We're in Russia.
Oh, we're in Russia.
That's
We're
not
one-
bad.
That's actually not bad, actually.
One
400
sort of
miles away.
yeah. In Russia, that is round the corner.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
So yeah, we've done all right there. Okay,
We
all right.
did.
Next round.
All right. Look at that. We did all right, to be
Yeah, we
fair.
did.
This is Spain, I would think.
Yeah.
Aragon is
Oh,
it's
there we go.
Spanish. Driving on it's a one-way street.
Yeah.
University Virgen del Carmen.
I was going to Portugal or Spain.
Oh
It's
wait! Spanish. It's Catalonia.
Yeah.
We got the Catalonia flag. So this is probably Barcelona.
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Europe. Okay.
Yeah,
Barcelona.
I'm pretty
Doesn't
confident.
look like Barcelona, does it?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it does.
Yeah.
It does.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been there a couple of times, yeah.
So the Ministry of the Economy. All right. So let's go for Barcelona. And I reckon it is in
See if you can find it on the map.
Sants. Let's go for Sants. Actually, no, it'll be in maybe this. Let's go for this area. It was in Zaragoza, inland a bit, but still, I think that's still technically Catalonia.
Not bad, not bad.
Not sure
150
actually.
miles.
Don't quote me on that. But yeah, not too far
Not
away.
bad.
Not too far away.
We're
All
doing
right.
well, guys, so far.
Yeah. Next round.
Oh,
All right. This is bleak.
That was like culture stuff.
yeah, I was going to say.
Oh,
There
Christ,
is
not giving much away.
nothing around.
Right,
Can we zoom in on those?
driving on the right side of the road.
Yeah.
What about these? Look, that's the UK, or that. I mean, that's somewhere in the UK for sure.
It's not. I don't think.
It's not, though.
I don't think this is UK. They're driving on the right side of the road.
Oh, right side of the road. Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Looks like Chernobyl or something.
It does. That's what I was thinking. It's potentially Russia again, or
Maybe try and move down on one of the roads or something, because we might get like a license plate of a car coming up.
Yeah, I was about to say that red truck that we
so
saw.
that's moving away.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't give a lot away, do they?
No. I mean, yeah.
Anyone in
like,
the live chat?
oh, here we go. Oh. Wait. That I think the next one here might give us
Egg.
Oh, okay.
Czech Republic.
Polish. or
Polish.
Yeah, I would say Poland. So maybe somewhere, yeah, in southern Poland, I think.
Krakow, something like that, yeah.
All right. I mean, I'm not 100% certain this is Polish. That could be Hungarian.
Sismada, yeah. Pixig.
I might lean towards Hungary on this one.
They do a lot of the C and S's and Z's,
Yeah.
don't they?
Should we? Are you happy for me to take a risk?
Go like, yeah, maybe like middle of like outskirts of Hungary.
So up here.
Yeah, I'd say so, maybe.
Slovakia is quite mountainous, though. This looks very flat.
Mm.
Somewhere down near water. Let's go for this area. And I'm sorry if it is Poland. Right, we just got to wait 8 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Don't get
Don't
get the bank details out just yet.
Oh, So we gone
Okay.
Poland, yeah?
Continue
Or
to get.
Hungarian. Hungary.
Oh, cool.
Yay! Let's
Not
go.
bad.
That's not bad.
Not at all bad.
All right, we're still in the game. Next round. Saudi.
And it's still loading for me.
It's got Arabic.
Mm.
Oh no, I'm thinking Morocco with these mountains. So you got
English and
English and
Egypt.
Arabic. Looks like quite a nice neighborhood. But yeah, these mountains. That's almost like Spain. That's like Spanishy type thing, which makes me think maybe Morocco. Can we get any sort of flags or?
Let's move around a bit, maybe.
Oh wait, here we go. Those are
not real trees.
Got
Iran?
a lot of flags here. I think I want to say they're Jordanian.
Oh, there's a little red bit.
Yeah, but I can't imagine being. I mean, it's probably an incredibly inappropriate comment, but I can't imagine there being Street View. I don't think of Street View being in Jordan.
Yeah, that flag is Jordanian.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe we can't overlook the flag. The flag is a pretty conclusive.
Maybe it's near like Petra or something like that.
Yeah, yes, that's a big shout because Petra is mountainous like this. Yeah, that's a great shout. All right, let's go for Petra. Confident on this one. Do I know where Petra is? Not at all. Anyone been to Petra?
No, I'd love to, but
no, unfortunately not.
All right. I might have to just
drop it in Jordan somewhere.
Yeah.
Let's assume this region, because the roads are sort of all at weird angles, that it's mountainous. So we will go here. It was in the UAE.
Oh wow. That was the flag then?
No, maybe.
So it was the UAE flag, I think.
Was it?
Yeah, I knew I recognized it, but let's. Can someone look up the Jordanian flag?
I'm pretty sure it looks.
UAE. Yeah.
That there.
Oh, the Jordan has got, instead of a rectangle that's red, it's got a triangle.
Triangle, yeah.
Right. Okay.
But it's pretty much the same apart from that.
You still got 1,221 points for that. Next round 5. North America, I reckon. Driving on the right. You've got a Kia. I can't remember what they're called. Police there, pulling people over. Oh wait! Can we get
Khalid from the?
Can we get the department?
Oh,
that's definitely America.
Canada. That is a massive help. So this is Alberta, I would say, somewhere maybe Alberta.
Canada, that narrows it down. Canada's just one road.
Highway 28A. Yeah, I mean,
Twin.
Where are you reading that? Oh yeah,
on the sign.
TWP Road.
Twin Peak or the mountains around.
If we can go, I might come back to that police car because I reckon there's probably some more info on there. All right, Gibbons corporate something that doesn't help us. All right, All right. What have we got? We've got Canada, RCMP, GRC. That's probably just the
That's the Royal Mounted Police, isn't it?
Okay.
It's definitely in Vancouver. I don't know if it's nationwide.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Vancouver has the RCMP.
I think this is like rural,
but not snowy or not mountainous or anything. It's not too northern.
Yeah, but I mean, it could just be summer. I think based on the fact that he's got the horse here, and Calgary is known for like cowboys and horses and stuff. The ice hockey team play at the I think it's the Saddle Dome, the Nova Scotia Saddle Dome or something. Saddle Dome. So I'm going to go for outskirts of Calgary. Probably a lot further out than that if it is. Oh, it was in Edmonton. All right, so not far away.
Oh yeah, we're all right. Less than 200 miles.
Yeah, it's definitely it was in Alberta.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a pretty. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm a bit annoyed that we didn't get the UAE flag.
God, we did well though. Look at all of us. Look how close we were.
We got Russia, we got Hungary, we got Catalonia, and then we smashed out Alberta there as well. So pretty good going. We can do one of those a week because obviously, like you only get one a day. So I'm happy.
What, did they only give you 5 rounds?
Yeah, you only get 5 rounds. I mean, I'm like that close to paying for it, to be honest, because I do love that kind of that game. Anything with Google Maps is class. All right, I'm gonna jump onto the next thing then. That I was gonna share with us, and it is this. Let me just find. Aha. All right. You'll like this one. So share screen. We have a tier maker of UK chocolate bars.
I do things like this all the time.
Okay, so we got God tier, top tier, mid tier, low tier, and bottom tier. And should we just go in the order of which they're on here, and then obviously we can move things around if we want to.
Yeah.
So first up, we have the Cadbury Dairy Milk Bar, just the standard edition there. Where are we thinking? Where does that rank on?
It's classic. I was going to say top tier.
Yeah,
a top tier bar straight away.
Yeah, definitely. I think so.
Classic. It's versatile. Chocolate bar that's versatile. You can dip it in your tea. You can have it on its own. You can put it in the fridge. You can put it in the cupboard. Golden.
Yeah. You can melt it. Like you can melt it to put on cakes.
Yeah. All right, then Dairy Milk Caramel.
Mid-tier for me, but I like to hear arguments against or for.
You know what? I like it in moderation. It's very like you can't eat a lot of that.
Exactly.
Like it's very sweet, very very sweet. I think a lot of people would argue it's at least as good as the. So like if you're only having one square, would you rather have dairy milk or caramel? I probably would rather have a caramel.
But if you're having one bar,
whole bar of dairy.
If you're having a bar, and then really, who has a square? What puts the rest in your pocket to melt?
Yeah. I'm thinking like celebrations and stuff like that. But
celebrations, maybe. As a bar in the shop, you spend your 70p, however much they cost these days.
Yeah.
You're picking up a dairy milk over a caramel for sure.
And also, I think an important point to ask here is, where would you store both of these? If you had them in the house, where would you be storing them?
They came out and actually like confirmed how it should be stored, didn't they?
How did it say? Because I'm a fridge man all the way.
So your fridge, Dan, where do you put it?
I would put them in the fridge.
Yeah, I do the same. They say it's cupboard.
Yeah. No,
They say
I
it's definitely in the
definitely
cupboard.
the fridge for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, fridge. You get
Not
that
all
crumb.
chocolates. Not all chocolates. Not all chocolates. No, not if it's got a complicated inside, then yeah.
We talk. Our analysing of chocolate bars is better than our analytics of football. I think.
Yeah. More reasoning on this one.
Back to chocolate podcast.
Yeah. All right. I'm happy to keep that on the mid tier.
Yeah.
Crunchy.
Oh, low tier.
Low tier.
tier. Oh
Yeah.
God.
Oh.
It's got to be higher than low tier, surely. It's up there.
I prefer it to a caramel, but
Yeah, I do as well. Crunchy, nice honeycomb center. Put that in the fridge all day long.
yeah. Don't get a lot of chocolate on it. It's not a lot of chocolate,
Yeah,
but
that's the thing.
and it can get stuck in your teeth a little bit as well. You get those sugar fillings. All right, we'll leave it on mid tier then for now. What variation of an Aero is that?
It looks like orange.
Oh,
Are you sure that's not the original?
Original's green, isn't it?
There's
No, the
another
original's
Aero
mint.
here. That's
The
a
original.
mint.
The green one's mint. I think that's original.
Okay. Well, we'll
check it. I'll have a quick back check.
Oh no. Here's the original.
Oh, there's the originals. Yeah, it must be orange then. Yeah, you're right, Dan. Didn't see that one.
I do love a chocolate orange. I do love chocolate orange flavour. So that for me is top tier.
Okay.
Yeah, my missus is watching this. She'd be definitely saying top tier for that.
Top tier for an orange Aero?
Yeah, but me personally, no. Like, I'm not massively keen on the orange and unless it's a Jaffa cake.
Yeah,
maybe. But apart from that, not really.
That's it.
But
I think Terry's chocolate orange kind of occupies holds down that space for orange chocolate.
You're right, but Terry's isn't there, so we've got to have a representative.
True. We have to show equality and diversity.
Exactly.
Doing this,
we can put it there, but
all right, okay.
Subject to change, I think. Is a Kinder chocolate?
Kinder.
It's just a Kinder bar, I think.
Is actually can't really tell. Yeah. Kinders are unreal, but it's I don't know.
But I think that the fact that they're so small and there's not enough of them, throws them down the rank. The
low
proportion
tier.
Isn't there.
Low tier.
Give us more.
It's a primary school kind of snack. Right, the picnic. Now, if my dad was doing this, that's happening. But he's not. Yeah. So where are we putting the picnic with its raisins and nuts?
Bottom tier for me.
Bottom tier.
If I'm having a chocolate bar, it's because I don't want to be healthy. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I want to be healthy, I won't have a chocolate bar. Don't mix my worlds up.
All right. Well, I'm sorry, Dad, that we're putting picnic on the bottom tier. Toffee crisp.
When I was at school, right, me and my friends, we used to leave school, go to the shops, and we used to buy a packet of knickknacks and a toffee crisp every day.
So is that going top tier?
Whether it's above Dairy Milk, I don't know, but top tier. Yeah, it's definitely not God
Greg,
tier.
any thoughts on the toffee crisp?
I'm indifferent with it. I'm happy with it going wherever. I'm indifferent. I don't really like them, to be honest.
Okay, fries, peppermint cream. So I think it's an old person's thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I've had them before. They're not. I wouldn't put them very high. Exactly. Yeah, keep it down there.
Yep. All right.
Milky Way.
The Milky Way. Okay. Yeah. Have discuss.
When it comes to the what are they in? They're in celebrations, right? I always go for Malteser and Milky Way. They're the two that I go for straight away. So it's up there for me.
Okay.
It's up there.
Greg?
Yeah, it's a classic. Every time I went over to my nan's house, should have a Milky Way set out. Classic.
Nice.
I think that's a top tier.
Top tier. Okay. All right. It's nice. It's a nice light thing. I like it as well. You get the double. You can get a Milky Way double bar if you want to share it with someone. All right. So we got Aeroplane.
Aeroplane is better than Aero Orange.
Yeah, sure. I agree.
So it's either going top tier or ahead of it in the mid tier. Is it better than caramel? That's what you gotta ask yourself.
Not really.
So
It's a lot of air.
Yeah, I'd stick them next to each other.
Yeah, maybe just all arrows should occupy this space.
Yeah.
All right, a 12. I don't have a lot to say about a 12, so I'll let you two decide where this goes.
Go on, Greg.
I do like a 12. I think I'm getting it confused with a flake. And so for me, if I can't differentiate between the two of them, it can't be anything higher than mid-tier. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do like a 12, but I can't, in my head, I can't think of the flavour of it or the design.
It's just dairy milk.
It is dairy milk.
Just in a different format.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's nothing different, nothing innovative.
The added ingredient is air that is trapped in there.
Yeah, and you have these kind of little folds inside, and it covers it. The chocolate covers these folds. It's just folded up chocolate. But it is nice. It is nice. You can't, and then you get two of them as well. So it's almost like with the dairy milk. Yeah, it's got that classic element of it's a one bar. But with the 12, that deception that they throw you, that little curveball of giving you two sticks is very satisfying.
Okay.
I'd still go mid-tier.
So wait. So where are you thinking?
I'm going mid-tier, but
mid-tier.
I
above or below an aero?
Above an aero for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Karamak, bit of an old school one.
Very old school. I'm going to plead the fifth on this one.
Low. I mean, when I've had it, it's quite tasty, but I would never go out of my way to get a Karamak. All right. Whisper. Similar to a 12. It's occupying a similar space to the 12. It's obviously a competitor. It's a market competitor to the aero. Would you rather have a Whisper or an aero?
Whisper's classic, isn't it though? Like Cadbury, that's at the very least.
Christmas time, you're opening that stocking up, and you got a Toblerone. Where are you ranking it on this tier maker list?
If my missus was doing this, that'd be in God tier.
Really?
Toblerone. But me personally, I'm not a massive Toblerone fan. I would put it low tier, but I just don't really go for it. So I'm kind of happy again to plead the fifth on this one.
Right.
Toblerone.
What'd you say, Greg? You love a Toblerone?
Do love a Toblerone. I'd go top tier if I'm quite honest.
Do you know what? Have you had the Twin Peaks bar from Poundland?
Nah.
No.
Was it? Is it a copy version?
Yeah, it's like the direct rip-off of the Toblerone. I think Toblerone actually sued them over the shape of the chocolate bar because it's just basically exactly the same thing.
That's a good point, actually. The shape of the Toblerone, because they changed it, didn't they? They made the segments smaller. So
Toblerone's definitely. I mean, if we're going back to the do you keep it in the fridge? Toblerone. If you put a Toblerone in the fridge, it becomes a deadly weapon. Like you can cut the top of your mouth trying to bite into that if you're trying to take one chunk off at a time. I mean, I think just based on its prestige, if you've got a Toblerone, it's probably a special occasion. So maybe here.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Okay, Kit Kat, chunky.
Do you remember when? In my time.
Yeah. Do you remember when? I remember when this actually became a thing when they released the Kit Kat chunky.
Yeah, me too.
I'm all for it. I think it's top tier.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I like the variations of it as well, like the peanut butter one and cookie dough and stuff.
Yeah, it's top tier for me. At this juncture, is anyone looking ahead at any of those bars and have got their Ryan Giggs, Paul Scholes of chocolate bars ready to defend their honor?
Not particularly, I think we might. Well, actually, no. There's one in here at least that I may be seeing as a Paul Scholes.
Okay.
But yeah, and then there's certainly some Pepes on that list. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at this guy here.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's probably one that I think is going to challenge for God tier.
Yeah. Fair.
All right, fries, chocolate cream. Should we just do that? Because again, it's not none of our business. Kit Kat, the 4-fingered Kit Kat. Take a break.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolute classic. Pat lunch special.
Yeah. There's this variation here. Not as good as the one with the foil and the paper. Much prefer that wrapping of a Kit Kat.
Yeah, 100%. Loses marks for that.
Loses marks for that. So, would you rather have a Kit Kat, a 4-finger Kit Kat, or a chunky?
I'd rather have a chunky.
Okay.
Greg? What about you, Greg?
I don't know. I think for the classic, like, crack little stick, I think I'd have to go for the original.
Yeah.
The original. Okay.
Yeah. I'd be happy with it in mid-tier, though, the original Kit Kat. I'd be happy with that.
I think we got to bump an orange Aero down to low tier at this point.
Yeah.
I think maybe the original Aero can stay there. He's got a compatriot is about to maybe join him somewhere, but I think we do that for now.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're kind of interchangeable. I would probably rather go for a Kit Kat chunky. Lion Bar. I like a Lion Bar.
I like a Lion Bar. If you'd have asked me this about 15 years ago, I'd have been saying God tier. Lion Bars rewarded me with a trip to the dentist to get some fillings.
Competition winner.
Yeah, it sounded like it.
Because I ate so much of them that I had to get fillings. It's an incredible. You almost have to go buy one now, guys, to eat one and just say, yeah, do you know what? What an incredible piece of artistry.
So,
it's up there for me.
Greg, have you got any opinion on the Lion Bar?
I don't think I've had one, if I'm quite honest.
Oh, Greg,
you're missing out.
I don't think I've had one.
I would go for a Lion Bar over a toffee crisp. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
I'll back you guys. Yeah.
Have you had the white chocolate Lion Bar?
No, I haven't.
Oh, that's one you're gonna have to search out. Yeah, I'm happy for it to go in top tier. Aero Mint. Now
joining his brother.
I think an Aero Mint is more iconic than a chocolate Aero. It's got more about it.
I'd buy an Aero Mint. Out of all the Aeros, I'd pick up an Aero Mint.
Yeah, I agree. Does it rank any higher than a Twirl or a Whisper? In my opinion, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I dig that mint flavor. I used to dig mint chocolate chip ice cream. I dig that mint flavor personally, but that's a personal taste. I'd have it there.
I'm happy with that. Yeah.
All right. A Bounty. Now this is controversial. Bounty.
Controversial, yeah. If you're asking my dad, he would have put that in God tier. Yeah, I used to always see Bounties in the fridge.
Yeah, same.
Growing up. But I know a lot of people don't dig the coconut. But I do. So, you know what? This is my first golden buzzer. I'm going to press my golden buzzer for God tier. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to go out on a limb, but I know I'm going to get shot down by you guys. But we got to go somewhere. No one's stuck their neck on the line yet for any of the.
Yeah.
And there's some classics in there, like Dairy Milk. We gave it a pass. Bounty, I'm gonna press that golden buzzer.
Okay, I think me and Greg have got to just stay silent on that and let the people decide. Bourneville, bottom tier.
Yeah.
Bottom of the bottom tier, or is it slightly above fries?
Makes no difference to me.
Yeah. Chomp. Now you're not got much money in your pocket. You're walking home from school. It's an option.
Yeah, I think a lot of our listeners will relate to that. The back in those days, money's a bit tight. You've used all your lunch money. You're digging in your pockets. You got 10p left.
Yeah.
Bang. Chomp.
It's a poor
Gold.
man's Dairy Milk caramel, more or
Mm.
less. More or less.
Yeah, and it's not small either. I mean, maybe now it might have got smaller, but back in the day when I was at school, it wasn't small. It wasn't. It was quite flat, but it wasn't
Maybe your
small.
hands were smaller.
Maybe. Maybe.
True. All right. I'll higher than a low tier.
Top of the low tier for now.
Yeah, I mean it
that.
is it's a low tier chocolate.
Yeah, exactly.
But
It is a low
one that
tier
we
chocolate.
appreciate.
Mm.
Nestle Crunch, not something that really had much. I think I've had it a couple of times.
Yeah, same.
I'm saying bottom tier.
Yeah.
I just look at
Yeah.
that branding and I just think bottom tier. It
But
looks
got to be higher than a picnic, surely. Sorry, Dan Brown Senior. But yeah, it's got raisins in it. That one there. So
Okay.
let's get the crunch in.
The curly whirly.
Oh,
This is
classic,
this is
but
versatile.
nightmare to eat.
Yeah, absolutely
Yeah.
nightmare.
Not an enjoyable experience.
Do you know what? You can put them in the freezer and then they go really hard and then you can just snap them up into little bits. It's quite a good little curly whirly tip. But it's similar to the chomp, it's just stretched out with holes in it.
Basically.
So maybe here.
Yeah, happy with that.
Yeah, it's got to be on par with it.
Right. You've moved into a new house, you've gone to IKEA, you got to the end, you
pick up a
paid,
bag.
there's a little food bit, then someone says, should we get some dime bars? Do you say yes or no?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's top tier for me.
Okay. Maybe it's top tier, whereabouts on top tier? I think it's similar to a Toblerone.
Yeah,
I'd probably
mid-range.
rather have dime than Toblerone.
Yeah, I would.
But yeah, so our top tier now is full, so things are gonna have to start moving out there. A double decker.
Or
I recently was given not It's Heroes, and I haven't eaten any of the double deckers. I must say, I'm not saying they're not nice, but they're not the ones that I'm grabbing for. They're the ones I've got the most of left in the miniature Heroes packet.
So is it nougat? Nougat? What's the? How do you pronounce the thing that's in there? So like half of it is like that kind of toffee crisp layer, isn't it? And then the other one is
like marshmallowy bits.
Yeah. Some nougat-y weird stuff.
Probably quite high on mid tier for me.
Yeah, happy with that.
I would rather have one than a mint aero.
Would you above a 12? All right.
Yeah.
Oh, go on then.
Go on then. The 12's naked cousin, the flake.
Yeah. Classic ice cream. The ice cream man comes.
That's true.
Are you getting a flake with your 99?
Just based on that, it's top tier.
Yeah.
Could potentially be battling with God tier.
I was going to say, I think because culturally, and the impact a flake has on your childhood,
moving that
with
down.
like the ice cream and even like dipping it in tea. I mean, it's up there.
A flake is more exciting than a standard bar of dairy milk. And yeah, like you say, culturally, it definitely deserves to be up there. Although it's just lake on here. We'll leave it there for now. The fudge. Now, would you rather have a chomp or a fudge if you got 10p? So it's definitely there. Would you rather have a curly whirly or a fudge?
Greg?
Fudge is much more enjoyable to eat than a curly whirly.
Yes, I agree.
And then does the fudge go up into mid tier at all?
I don't think so. I think those low tier chocolates, as you say, Dan, we appreciate them, we respect them.
Yeah.
But they can't really go too high, just to the nature of their budgetness.
Yeah.
That's a word.
Yeah. This is a classic, the Mars bar. I think.
I'd say that. I'll go on, Dan.
No. I mean, there's big arguments for it to go up there just based on reputation. You know, if you said to someone, name a chocolate bar, a Mars bar is probably going to be one of the first ones that most people would think of. I think it's probably mid tier these days for me. But I'm open to have my mind changed.
For
It
me,
has slipped down a pecking order, I must say.
Mm.
Sorry, Greg.
Yeah, I think 20 years ago, Mars Bar's the king.
Mm. Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, I would say maybe 10 years ago. That's going in God tier for lots of people. Along with another one coming up. But it has definitely slipped down a pecking order of late for sure. But do we go with that history and stick it up there with Bounty, or are we?
Yeah,
gonna...
let's put it in there for now, and then we'll at the end we'll decide. I mean, this is not. Also, it's not. I'm thinking of this as GOAT, but actually, it's just God tier. So there can be multiple in the God tier. There are many gods, said the ancient Greeks. So yeah, we'll go for we'll put it in that God tier, even though it may drop out. And I think just to make space on this, I think we need to put a few of them in that God tier. The Milky Bar Kid is strong and tough. Where does his chocolate bar rank? I'm gonna put Flake up there as well, just to make some space for us.
See, I'd have said Milky Bar in top tier.
Like
Mars Bar is my God tier.
Yep. Okay.
But Milky Bar, I think, as an icon, and the adverts and the branding around it, I think Milky Bar deserves to be in top tier.
Yeah, I mean, historic. Dan, you might know, fountain of all knowledge and all that. Before Milky Bar, was there really much focus on white chocolate? Because I think that might be our only white chocolate representative in there.
Yeah,
but it needs to, and white chocolate is
I agree.
Something to marvel at. So that needs to be quite high.
I was gonna say, it's if you think of white chocolate, you think of a Milky Bar. There was a dream. Cadbury's had the Dream Bar, didn't they, for a while? But yeah, it is basically Milky Bar occupies quite strongly the white chocolate corner of the market. So yeah, I think a Milky Bar probably for me goes maybe splits the Toffee Crisp and the Lion in top tier. Now we got Cadbury's kind of version of a twirl. I think a Ripple is more like a twirl than a flake.
Is. Yeah.
Probably has to go on the same level, I would say, as a twirl.
Yeah. It's just not fair.
In which case, what do we do here? Do we move something up into God tier or something down into low tier? Is an Aero low tier?
No, I don't think so. I think maybe, I mean, the classicness of the guys in God tier, you'd probably have to put Dairy Milk up, surely.
Yeah, I agree. And then maybe a Kit Kat can return to top tier. There's arguments for Milky Bar to jump up into God tier by the end of this as well. A Snickers. Now, I've never really been a big fan of the Snickers. Is a Mars bar with nuts, essentially, isn't it? So, Greg, you were the Mars bar spokesperson on this podcast. What are you saying about Snickers?
I do like a Snickers. I definitely think that given the choice, it would probably be lower down on my list of if I had to choose a chocolate bar. I think the advertising and the branding of it does have to bump it up a little bit.
Okay.
It's up there for sure. Again, that's another one. My dad used to have them in. He used to cut them in half. So when we were younger, I don't know if times are hard or not, but there'd be one bar and he'd cut it into four, and me and my sisters would get a piece each of Snickers. Not one whole bar each, a piece of one bar each. And I'd always be eyeing it up in the fridge, being like, "Oh, there's Snickers in there. When are we getting that?" It's definitely up there. Maybe top tier, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'd say top tier based on the branding itself. The whole Mr. T, the "You're not you when you're hungry."
Yep.
That is Snickers.
Okay. So again, are we gonna promote? I'll tell you what. We'll put it in top tier. and then we'll move things around. So, would you rather have a Snickers or? I think it's probably ahead of a dime in terms of being a classic. Again, like I guess we're slightly sort of changing criteria on each. I also think maybe we need to separate Kit Kat and Kit Kat Chunky in a second. Star Bar.
Never had one.
Never have. No, I don't think I have either. Is it like a boost? Is it? I don't know. So based on that, I'm just going to look it up actually. Greg, have you had a Star Bar?
No, I haven't actually. I looked at it at first glance and I thought it said Starburst. So already the branding is really.
Yeah, and to be fair, guys, I must say the first time I've seen it is today.
Yeah,
I haven't actually seen it before.
A lot like a boost kind of thing. So it's got like crushed peanuts in the middle, surrounded by caramel and chocolate. I'm based on the fact that we don't even know it.
Yeah,
bottom tier. There. Timeout, a little bit like a Kit Kat, but maybe not as good. I think I would probably say I would say it's low tier. It's definitely low tier.
I would reach for one of those cheap classic fudges and Aeros and stuff before a timeout.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. The Topic.
Classic. I've known that it's been around for a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's old school.
I'm not a fan of Topic.
For me, it's very similar to a Picnic.
Picnic, yeah.
So what is in the Topic?
It's got raisins in it as well.
I think it's got nuts.
Is it just nuts?
And in my memory, Topic bars are really small. Like they're much smaller chocolate bar than most others.
They're square ones, so it's like square shaped.
Yeah, it sort of looks a bit like it looks a lot like a Snickers, to be honest. I mean, for me, I'm saying low tier. I'm not going out of my way to get a Topic. So this was going to be my nomination for God tier. Wow. The Twix. I think it's a classic. You get two, even better.
Yeah.
I do like Lidl's version of it. But yeah, as a chocolate bar, I think it's up there. Would I rank it higher than Dairy Milk? Probably not. Do I think Bounty should be in there? Not sure. But yeah, I think Twix has got to go God tier.
I'm not arguing with you.
The next two are very quick conversations. I feel.
Yeah. Yeah. So Turkish Delight is going to go there. Whisper
Gold was nice. It is nice, but
pretty irrelevant though, isn't
it? Yeah, it is pretty irrelevant. I mean, can you even buy one anymore? I'm not even sure.
Yeah. So in that case, it probably exists around there. Maybe even Karamak can go down to bottom tier, and Whisper Gold is probably somewhere around there.
Yeah, not going to argue too much.
All right, and then we got the Yorkie.
It's good. It's a hearty. It's a manly chocolate. It's strong. It's tough. I used to eat quite a lot of them when I was younger. It's up there for sure. It's a classic for me.
I'd say top of top tier.
Yeah, so we got to promote two. So if let's put Yorkie in here, and then two of these are going to get promoted to God tier.
Milky Bar?
Yeah, I think Milky Bar, just because it is the god of white chocolate. And then are we going to put, does the Yorkie Bar make it up, or is, I'm reluctant to probably say the Lion Bar.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
But
I mean, if I was gonna not put my own personal hat on it and think what a lot of people would say, I think a lot of people would go for the Toblerone.
Yeah.
But also, I also can see a lot of people going for one of them Kit Kats.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. that Kit Kat is, we're looking at like the Hall of Fame of chocolate bars. That kind of Kit Kat is in there.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do that. Do do we want to have Bounty as the ultimate chocolate bar?
No, of course not. Of course not. Of course not.
Dairy milk.
Dairy milk. Yeah, I think so. And then flake, and then after that, it's a toss up.
Then probably
Mars and Twix.
Mars and Twix.
Mars and Twix. Yeah, I think maybe I'd do that as well. Oh, doesn't want me to. There we go. All right. Well, that's controversial. Well done. We'll put that on Twitter. See if people agree with us. I mean, I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
All of those that can get in the bin. Yeah. This is good. This is good.
I think as well, if you walked into a shop and you saw how the chocolates all laid out, I think that's more or less how they are laid out.
Yeah.
I think we sort of nailed it in terms of like the shelving of
best sellers.
Yeah.
All right.
Nailed
it. Nice. All right, let's quickly go back to football then. I will save that and we'll put that on Twitter.
Back to chocolate.
So, Man City this week played Liverpool, ended 4-0 to City. Now, is that, had the Liverpool players maybe taken their foot off the gas a lot this week and sort of enjoyed probably celebrating the title? Almost certainly, yes. But yeah, let's talk about City more in this, and players that maybe stood out for Man City in this game. John, there's a particular player that you wanted to mention who's shining at the moment for Man City.
Yeah, we spoke about it before he went live. Speaking about Foden, I mean, has anyone had a better start to post-lockdown football than Foden? I mean, he's got 4 goals, something like that. He's playing really well. He's looking like he's ready to relish that position being vacated by David Silva, and he's looking good. I mean, the 1-2, the build-up, and the goal that he scored was definitely beyond his years. And and England senior call-up can't be too far behind, because I don't think we've had a player like that since Jack Wilshere, and obviously his injuries, obviously stopped him from, getting more caps. But yeah, I really do feel that he's got the brain. He's working with Pep. He's surrounded by a lot of great players. I'd have him in there. I'd definitely have him in the England squad, for sure.
Yep. No, I agree. Greg, did you catch any of the game?
I caught the highlights, yeah. And I feel like it the best bit about it is that it shows that this league isn't as one-sided, or, if Liverpool had gone out and thrashed City, I think we'd be looking at next season and thinking, oh, for God's sake, right, okay. But that game showed that it is still on a little bit. Pep's obviously gone, right, okay, you little fucker, let's have this. You've won the league, but we're proving to you that we're breathing down your neck. And, I think we need that, because I think, to be honest, I think we needed Liverpool to win the Premier League, because 3 league titles in a row for City is not a good sign of things going. You look at the Bundesliga, is it 8 times in a row that Munich have won? I don't want that for the Premier League. I want it to be exciting. I want Leicester's to pop up every now and then. So I think Liverpool winning this time to sort of break the chain of events.
Was it not Chelsea 2 years ago? I might be wrong.
I think.
Oh, no. City had won it 2 years in a row. Yeah.
Yeah, City back to back. But I feel like it definitely proves that City is still there and, fighting chance and all of that. And yeah, Phil Foden, the funny thing, we talked about this, Dan, earlier in the week. Pep needs to either decide if he's going to play him or if he's going to loan him out or something. But just having him sitting on the bench, waiting around, he's a player that needs to be playing, and he's capable of playing. I mean, put him in any other squad in the Premier League, he'd be starting every week.
Yeah.
I think that, hopefully this period of time has proved himself to Pep. Whether, he starts or is loaned out is a different story. But I think that he is a very talented young player and he needs to be playing football for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
No, I agree. So who, if he is getting into that England team, who do we think would play with him, and how would we kind of set up that team to work with Foden and Harry Kane and maybe Sancho, Rashford, Sterling, all of these players? What would be your sort of dream England midfield for maybe Euro 2021 as it's going to be?
Who's going to go?
John.
Oh, me, yeah. Well, you got to have Henderson in there. He's it's hard because I've been bashing Henderson for a while, obviously before 2 seasons ago, but he's definitely shown his worth. He's rugged. He can, retrieve the ball back. He's a leader, and he's led Liverpool to some remarkable achievements over the last few years. So you've got to have him in there. And the other one's a tricky one. I'd definitely like to hear you guys' opinions first about who's going to go play in there with him and Phil Foden.
Yeah, I would have. I want to watch him a bit more, but Declan Rice would be my third midfielder. If we're playing a 4-3-3 system, I would have Declan Rice, Jordan Henderson, Phil Foden as the midfield, and then Sterling, Kane, probably Rashford or Sancho. Rashford's one of those. He's just like loaded with potential, and he has the potential to be England's best player. He has that world class potential. Hasn't quite locked in that consistency yet, and I think that might be something that we get in the next season or so. I would edge Rashford over Sancho at the moment. But that's not to say that Sancho doesn't come to the Premier League next year and light up every week and kind of hold down that position. But yeah, I certainly think as a front six, that's pretty bloody good. So yeah, that would be mine. I mean, Greg, would you go with Declan Rice, or would you go Eric Dyer or Harry Winks or something like that?
Eric Dyer needs to be as far away from any football team as possible. The problem is that so long as Declan Rice is playing for West Ham United, Gareth Southgate isn't going to touch him, because we know this from Southgate. So long as he is England manager, we'll see Harry Kane playing, we'll see Sterling, we'll see all the players that, no matter how good their form is, if they're playing for, your United, your Cities, your Tottenhams, they'll be playing. He's not going to pick anyone. He's not going to pick Jack Grealish because he's at Aston Villa. He's not going to pick Declan Rice because he's at West Ham, no matter how well they're playing.
Connor Cody at Wolves.
That's the first. Yeah, exactly. That is the first issue that we face with the England team. I would definitely go with Declan Rice. I think that the England team you need to sort of shit the players up a bit. You need to make them realise each time we come to a friendly, why don't we just change the squad right away, so that you've got your players thinking, oh, actually I need to fight for a place here. We just look so rigid in the midfield sometimes, and I think that having a bit of flair, having a bit of difference, and Foden would definitely, he'd bring that young, exciting, forward-thinking play, and I think it would be crucial for England, because Harry Kane, as good a goal scorer he is, he's not a brilliant football player. Obviously, he's a brilliant Premier League player, of course, but he scores goals. Beyond that, there's not much to his game. So I think he needs a number 10 behind him to fill in those gaps.
Yeah, I agree. The other name, which I had in my head, was Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. I just think he's definitely come on since moving to Liverpool. He's scored some great goals. He's not afraid to hit the target from 20, 30 yards. He's energetic. He's fast. He's powerful. So that would be definitely, and he's versatile. So that is definitely somebody who who would definitely get consideration.
Yeah, and there's certainly a few other players as well. I mean, we don't, we're still to see more of Mason Mount, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He's going to play a bit more. There's quite a few good midfielders I think that are going to give those players a run for their money. Obviously, you mentioned Jack Grealish. The times I have watched Aston Villa this year, he's the standout player, isn't he? He's a proper flair player, and he can make really positive runs. But I do wonder if Southgate's kind of keeping him out on an attitude basis as well, whether he would actually just slot into that squad nicely. Is something that we might not even find out. Also, James Maddison at Leicester, a big fan of his. I think he'll certainly be part of the wider England squad, and maybe a future. I think he's probably the biggest competition for Foden in terms of playing kind of between the midfield and the strikers. Is going to be either Maddison or Foden. But yeah, that's something that we have to look forward to. John, thoughts on Arsenal, how they've kind of fared this week? It's been up down start, hasn't it? It's lack of consistency, but they are getting some good results here and there.
Yeah, obviously Arsenal always do well in the FA Cup. That's almost an expectation, even if we don't win it, we're there or thereabouts, semi-final or in a final. I think we might have the record actually for the most number of FA Cup trophies. So that was good to see them go through. I think it ends here though with City. I just think they'll have too much for us.
Yeah.
It was a good win against Norwich. I mean, it was a predictable win. I mean, as soon as it went to extra time, the FA Cup game against Man United and Norwich, I was like, that's it, we'll win that game, because I just thought they were going to put too much into going through in that game, and they'll just be, given the fact that we've had this lockdown period and the energy levels are not super high. I just knew that extra rest, or the extra exertion that Norwich had to put into that game would mean that Arsenal, with the way they pass the ball, the way they can pass the ball, especially against the teams in the bottom half of the table, they were always going to just destroy them, and which they did. So I wasn't too over the moon. I've seen obviously some pundits talking. I've seen some stuff on Sky Sports talking about how great Ceballos was, and obviously he's going to be filling in for Ozil, who looks like that's not going to turn positive for that. But I'm not getting my hopes up too yet. It was Norwich, and a tired Norwich at that.
Yep. I mean, poster card FA Cup semi-finals, if there ever was some. Arsenal versus Man City on the 18th of July, and then Man United versus Chelsea on the 19th. That sets up, two brilliant semi-finals, and then obviously after that there's going to be a great FA Cup final as well this year. I feel like that's the first year in quite a long time that there hasn't been a kind of either lower table Prem team or even a championship team up there for those semi-finals. Do you think City have got to be the favourites for that? They want trophies this season. They're going to full send for the FA Cup, do you think? Obviously, they're out of the Champions League.
No, not yet. I think they've still got Real Madrid.
Okay.
Yeah, they played they won the first leg, 2-1.
Right.
Yeah.
So when does this Champions League mini tournament thing take place?
I think it starts in August.
Right.
I think it's starting in August.
I got so confused with that because obviously the Premier League's still going on. My whole concept of time is ruined. We're in the transfer window, aren't we? It's July or August. I'm bewildered by all of it. The beginning of next season is going to throw up a lot of issues, I think, because these players won't have had a break. Obviously, the Euros would have happened, so they wouldn't have had a break. But I think that it's going to be a really interesting couple of months ahead, really. I don't think. Well, I mean, you touched on it earlier, Dan, about Fulham coming up. I think that the teams at the bottom half of the table are going to really struggle because I think it's going to be a quiet transfer window all round.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of players are going to be wanting to move. You know, we've had 3 months off of football, so you've got scouts that haven't really had much football to look at to see who they want to bring in. And obviously a bit less money going around. I mean, you know, football's a bit of a micro economy itself.
Yeah. Obviously, Leroy Sané completed his move to Bayern. That's one of the transfers that's gone through. But yeah, there's a lot to still happen, and you're right. You know, the fatigue on the players, even though they've had this break with coronavirus and stuff, it's still, you know, they're expected to now play a full season, and then the top players are expected to then go into a European Championship, play another full season, have a couple of months off, and then play another full season with a World Cup in the middle of it, played out in the desert in Qatar. So yeah, certainly, you know, if you are a professional footballer, you are going to really earn your money in the next 2 or 3 years.
Sure.
But hey, again, millions and millions, those top ones. So
what do we make of Chelsea's transfer policies at the moment? I mean, obviously got in Timo Werner, Hakim Ziyech, Kai Havertz looks good. Where are the defenders? Because their big problem is defense at the moment.
Yeah, so they got Tomori, Zuma, Rudiger.
But defensively, they're not looking great.
They're looking to bring in Chilwell as well, potentially. I could see them dropping an offer on Declan Rice as well. But yeah, like you say, centre backs, maybe they've got a bit of a hole that needs plugging. I don't know at the moment. I'm sure that Abramovich, if there's someone available and he can get them and it will kind of meet the financial fair play stuff, I think he'll just write a blank check for Lampard to sign as he wants. Also returning this weekend is Formula One in Austria at the Red Bull Ring. Looks like it's going to be a Mercedes walkover this whole season, because they've obviously got this dual axis steering, which Red Bull complained about this weekend, and FIA said it's completely legal. So hopefully that's not too much of an easy run for Hamilton and Bottas this year. I'm looking forward to watching that, though. Do you think you'll catch any of that this weekend, Greg and John?
Formula One's not really my thing, to be honest, to watch. I saw this week the design for the new Red Bull car came out, something like that.
Or the Mercedes? Which one? Yeah, so Mercedes have got all black. That's the Mercedes car this year. Yeah, it looks awesome. Looks awesome. Yeah. So yeah, looking forward to that. But yeah, that should be a welcome return. John, you got any big plans for the weekend? Looking after the little ones?
Yeah, I'm looking after the little ones. Obviously, I have to give them a lot of praise and credit. I did mention before going on live that I would be surprised if they didn't come up, as I'm on my own at the moment. But they haven't, so credits to them. Well disciplined. But yeah, no, I'll be definitely trying to catch some football today. Watch live.
Norwich, I think, are playing at the moment. So let's have a look. I mean, I think pretty much every Premier League game is live in some sense. Right. So we've got Norwich versus Brighton on at the moment. Brighton are 1-0 up through Trossard goal. That's on BT Sport. Then at 3:00, Crystal Palace or Leicester versus Crystal Palace is on Sky Sports. At the same time on BT Sport, you can watch Manchester United against Bournemouth. And then at 5:30, you've got Wolves taking on Arsenal on Sky.
That's a big game, that.
Yeah, very big game. And then after that, you've got Chelsea taking on Watford, which is on Sky. But I mean, I would love for this to be, the regular Premier League season, to have just every single game is on TV and is live. I think there's such a demand for that now, and to have more of that kind of the American sports model of games will sell out, just put them on TV anyway. But
definitely, people are loving that the BBC have got a few games, and Amazon Prime that went down well at the beginning of the season. No matter how long ago that feels, I reckon that there's definitely a market for it. That'd be brilliant.
And obviously another big game that's on Sky at the moment in the Championship is Derby versus Notts Forest. Derby are on like a real charge at the moment. Rooney's been playing really well for them in sort of a defensive midfield Pirlo type role, and they've been making a charge towards playoff places, breathing right down the neck of Cardiff, who are in 6th place. They are losing 1-0 at the moment to Notts Forest, who are in 4th place in the league. So I would actually recommend, if you're going to watch a game right now, get on that rather than Norwich versus Brighton. So yeah, that's where we're at. We'll leave the show there, John. Obviously, you can get back to the youngsters.
We'll do.
Get some lunch sorted. And Greg, any plans for the rest of the day?
I don't think so, to be honest. Recording a podcast later on, the men's room. Quick
Lovely
plug.
stuff.
Talk about Jack the Ripper.
Ah, nice.
Yeah,
Jack Wilshere. Okay. Just thinking of Mark Corrigan doing his Ripper walks in London. Exactly. Right. We'll leave the show there then. Anyone watching at home, obviously, thank you for watching this week. Please do like and subscribe. And we'll be back next week for episode 50, which will be our last show for a little while. We're going to take a break after that. We'll be back with bigger and better things soon. So we'll see you next Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Until then, have a great week. And John and Greg, obviously, thank you so much for joining me on the show today.
Have a good weekend.